Hari Om. Gently close your eyes. Your fingers interlaced and placed in front. Your back, neck and head erect. Your breathing is normal. Make sure that there are no tensions in your body. Next, attend to your mind. If any thoughts come in, gently dismiss them. Be aware of your breathing. We will chant the mantra Om followed by the invocatory prayer. Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu Mavit Vishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti. We will chant 10 shlokas from the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 5, verses 1 to 10, please. Chapter 5, Bhagavad Gita, verses 1 to 10, please. Arjuna uvacha Sanyasam karmanam Krishna Punaryogam cha samshase Yachreyayetayorekam Tanme bruhi sunischitam. Shri Bhagavanuvacha Sannyasa karma yogascha Nishreyasakara ubhau Tayostu karma sannyasat Karma yogo vishishyate Nyeyasa nitya sannyasi Yo nadveshte na kankshate Nirdvandvo hi mahabaho Sukham bandhat pramuchyate Sankhya yoga prathak balaha Pravadanti na panditaha Ekamapyastita samyak Ubhayor vindate phalam Yat sankhya prapyate sthanam Tad Tadyogairapi gamyate Yekam sankyam cha yogam cha Yah pashyati sa pashyati Sanyasastu mahabaho dukkhamaptumayogataha yoga yukto munir brahma nachirena yoga yukto vishuddhatma vijitatma jitendriyaha sarva bhutatma bhutatma kurvannapi na lipyate naiva kinchet karomiti yukto manyeta tattvavet pashyan shrinvan sprishan jegran ashnan gachan swapan shvasan pralapan visrijan grinnan unmishan nimishannapi indriyanendriyartheshu vartanta iti dharayan brahmanyadhaya karmani sangam tyaktva karoti yaha lipyate na sapapena padmapatramivambhasa. We were discussing role of intellect, the vital role of intellect. Three parts were discussed. Today we will talk about what is sattvic intellect, what is rajasic intellect, and what is tamasic intellect. Before we get into this sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic intellect, a little background about what is this sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic qualities. In Sanskrit, it is called as gunas. Today we are performing an action. We say the person is sattvic in nature. He has performed a sattvic action. Another one has performed a rajasic action. Third person has performed a tamasic action. What do you mean by this? Every human being is composed of three gunas, three qualities. They are sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic gunas. These are Sanskrit terms. Sattva means purity. Rajasic means action, activity. Tamas means inertia, laziness. Now let us discuss from the tamasic point of view, laziness point of view. So when a person, is sleeping, when a person is sleeping, then the physical body is sleeping or resting. The physical body on its own cannot perform action. The inner personality, which is constituted of the mind and intellect, is propelling the physical body into action. Here it is sleep. The physical body is sleeping. The mind and the intellect in this context here is practically resting. Therefore, the physical body is also resting, sleeping. Sometime back we said every human being is a composite personality of these three qualities: sattvic, rajasic and tamasic. Even a spiritual person, a person who is a materialistic person, a sensualistic person, every human being, irrespective of your caste, creed or sect or religion, everybody is made up of these three qualities: sattvic, rajasic and tamasic. The permutation and combination of these three gunas, qualities, create a heterogeneous variety of human beings. This is how we can explain physically two human beings are looking alike, twins, two boys, two girls, or one boy, one girl. But internally their nature, their qualities are poles apart. One person is very active, other person is lethargic, lazy. One person is brilliant, another person is not able to grasp, is lacking intelligence, etc. So we will get to that discussion a little later. Now, every human being is made up of sattvic, rajasic and tamasic qualities. So a physical action at the physical level, physical body is sleeping, resting. Therefore, we say physical body by its own, on its own cannot perform action. It is the mind or the intellect, the inner personality is propelling the physical body into action. In this case, it is sleep. Most of the time, the person is lazy. You give any work to that person. Even when the person is awake, you give some job to that person will say, why should I take it up now? Is it so urgent? Can I not do it a little later? Keep on postponing, procrastinating. That tendency which we find at the physical level, at the mind level, it is not just at the physical level, it is being propelled by the inner personality, the mind, and such persons lack thinking. You will not find, their head is not working, the head is not alert, the thinking capacity is not, is not expressive. Therefore, the mind is dull. There is no expression at the physical level. There is no action at the physical level. Now, we are going subtler and subtler, meaning from the physical body, we have identified that the physical body is inactive. It is not performing any action because the inner personality, the mind and intellect is not performing any action, is in inertia. And then if we argue by saying, how is it that the mind and intellect itself is inactive? Then we give the name, the innermost personality. Don't get confused here when I say innermost. The vasana is tamasic. Again, vasana is a Sanskrit term. Vasana. It is derived from Sanskrit root called vas, V-A-S. The nature of a person. Vasana is, a term which cannot be defined by intellect, because the source of intellect is a vasana. Therefore, it is which cannot be defined. But for practical purposes, we can take vasana as the urge, tendency, aptitude. So in this context, when we are talking about a person, if we are branding a person as a tamasic person, lazy person, means the innermost vasana, the nature of a person is tamasic. Therefore, the intellect is also tamasic, lazy, not active. The mind, now we are coming from subtlest to the next subtler realm, that is vasana is the core, the essence, which we can say here as the DNA. Intellect is tamasic, the mind is tamasic, therefore at the physical level there is an expression or perhaps no expression, no action, lazy, idle, ideally. Now when we are talking about an active person, the Rajasic person, the physical body is active because the mind is active, intellect is active, the vasana is active. So Swamiji, Swami Parthasarathi, my guru in Vedanta treatise, the Eternitist, a book written by him, Vedanta treatise, the Eternitist, he beautifully talks about the chronology of action. Chronology of action, he is talking about at the physical level, action is performed, and then prior to physical action, there is a desire in the mind, and the desire in the mind is propelled from the thought in the intellect, and preceding the thought is the vasana. Vasana is the source and action is the cause. Vasana is the cause, action is the effect. So now in the second case here, vasana is rajasic, therefore the physical action is also rajasic. Swamiji always used to say a person is running like a chicken without a head. Hyperactive, a person is passionate, no doubt about it, but extremely attached, jack of all trades, master of none. These are all qualities of a Rajasic person. Result oriented, extremely competitive, sometimes ruthless. The thought of I alone exist, egoistic, arrogant. All these are predominant in a Rajasic person. A person can be a go-getter, but because the person wants to achieve many things, wants to be number one, demand is very high. Sometimes because of the result orientation, the focus is on the result. Therefore, the present action which brings the result is not performed to the optimum. Therefore, whatever desired result a person wants here is not accomplished. Hence, the person is mentally agitated. When the person is mentally agitated, then future course of action is impoverished. It's a chain reaction. Present action not performed, future result cannot be attained. It makes the person agitated. Therefore, whatever intellect a person has is not available. This is the Rajasic person. But there's a world of difference between a Rajasic person and the Tamasic person because the person here is active. A Rajasic person is full of action, full of life. The third is the superior most quality, person here is a sattvic person, where a person is performing action, mind is propelling, or for that matter, the inner personality, the intellect is guiding the mind to perform the action, and it is the combination, the head and the heart is giving the right instruction to the physical body to perform the action. That's what we will be discussing today. Sattvic intellect, Rajasic intellect and Tamasic intellect. How beautifully, the three types are working here. So a sattvic person, because sattvic in the sense here, a person's mind is pure, unselfish, clarity is there, direction is set. Because of the vasana is sattvic. So as the vasana, so the intellect, as the intellect, so the mind, as the mind, so the physical action. And this is what the chronology of action is. So here I would like to bring to your notice chapter 18 of the Bhagavad Gita, shloka 29, not 29, sorry, 30, 31 and 32. These three shlokas are talking about, that is chapter 18, verses 30, 31 and 32. These three shlokas are talking about sattvic, rajasic and tamasic buddhi, intellect. We will chant these three shlokas and then take up the discussion here. Okay? You may not have the book with you, it's okay, fine. Chapter 18, verse 30. Pravrittim cha nivrittim cha karya karye bhaya bhaye bandham moksham cha yaveti buddhissa partha sattviki. We will chant it again, please. Shloka number 30, chapter 18 of the Bhagavad Gita. Pravrittim cha nivrittim cha karya karye bhaya bhaye bandham moksham cha yaveti buddhissa partha sattviki. Swamiji's translation, it says, the intellect which knows activity and renunciation, what ought to be done and what ought not, fear and fearlessness, bondage and liberation, that, O Partha, is sattvika. The background prayer is started, so we will stop here, and next session we will again take up the discussion. We will again cover up whatever we have discussed today also. So we will stop here and then we will continue the session again. Hari Om.